Tomorrow morning, the sun will still rise. At least, that's something nearly 8 billion people on Earth have always believed. For millions of years, every morning begins with the first rays of sunlight. The sun has never broken its promise. It's like a rule. It's so obvious that no one thought it could disappear. But if tomorrow morning, what if that promise is broken? Imagine, you wake up as usual, turn off the alarm, make a cup of coffee, walk to the window, pull the curtain aside, and then, you stood there speechless. Sky, completely empty. There was no sunrise. There is no sunlight. There is no sun. It wasn't because of cloud cover. It wasn't because of the eclipse. But because it's gone. It did not explode. No flash of light. It left no trace whatsoever. It's simply, it no longer exists. What do you think will happen next? Will the Earth explode? Will people die instantly? Or will everything be over in just a few seconds? If that's your answer, then you're mistaken. Truth, it's much scarier. Because, during the first 8 minutes, no one on Earth knows that the sun has disappeared. That sounds absurd, but that's the truth. Sunlight takes approximately 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth. That means, even if the sun disappeared right now, its light continued to hurtle towards us. Like a letter, sent from the past. Think about that. Right now, someone is driving to work. Someone is taking their first sip of coffee of the day. There were children laughing and playing in front of the school gate. A flight has just taken off. There's a couple who just got engaged. And somewhere, a baby has just let out its first cry upon entering the world. Everything is proceeding completely normally. While the only source of life for the entire planet, it no longer exists. That is, 8 minutes is the most normal time. Also, the 8 scariest minutes throughout the entire history of humankind. But if you think darkness is the first thing we have to face, then you're mistaken. Light, it's simply the most visible gift the sun provides. It also holds something else. Something invisible. You can't see it, cannot be touched, but it is precisely this. It has kept Earth stable for 4.6 billion years. And when that thing disappears, everything, it's just the beginning. 8th minute. It wasn't just the light that disappeared. It disappeared too. 1. But it has kept the entire solar system functioning for billions of years. The gravitational pull of the sun. Throughout 4 billion, the sun is like a giant anchor. Keep the Earth spinning around itself, at the right distance for life to exist. But as soon as that anchor disappeared, the Earth no longer revolves around the sun. It begins, leaping straight into the endless void of. The amazing thing is, right now, you are also moving at a speed close to 107,000 kilometers per hour. And when the gravitational pull is lost, the Earth continues to hurtle forward. At that exact speed, no brakes, no destination, dried, first time, planet of, a planet without. But the good news is, at least, you still see, you can still breathe, the air is still, Earth's gravity, still keep. If you don't look up at the sky, perhaps this is just an ordinary day. But peace, it won't last long, because the energy source that sustains almost all living things, it's gone. The first thing to die, not human, it's not an animal either, but it is sun. As soon as the light goes out, progress, leaves no longer produce energy. No more oxygen is being produced. Plant life, start. At first glance, that doesn't seem too serious. But rice grains, green vegetables, fruit, milk, or the piece of meat on the dining table, almost, they all start from plants. When the tree dies, the food chain of the entire onion, it's starting to fall apart. The cold, he's not the first killer yet. Famine, that's the new trend. The supermarkets are gradually emptying. The supply chain has come to a standstill. Humans began stacking stones to wait for a meal. But if only I had known this beforehand. Will humanity, is there still a chance of survival? It's possible, because, right beneath our feet, the Earth is still hiding a huge source of energy. And that, it's possible, humanity's last refuge. By now, you might think humanity has no chance. Without sunlight, Earth will eventually freeze. But surprisingly, our greatest hope isn't above us. It's beneath our feet, just a few kilometers below Earth's surface. Temperatures begin to rise. Deep underground, our planet is still incredibly hot. In fact, Earth's core is almost as hot as the surface of the sun. That heat never disappeared, and for the first time in history, it could become humanity's most valuable resource. Imagine enormous underground cities, hidden beneath frozen continents. Powered by geothermal energy, food growing inside vertical farms, fresh water constantly recycled, artificial lights replacing the sun, schools, hospitals, homes, an entire civilization living beneath the surface. If humanity had enough warning, we may. But there is a price. There are no windows, no sunrise, no sunsets, no blue sky. Every morning begins because a computer switches on the lights. Every crop grows under artificial illumination. Every breath depends on machines that never stop running. At first, it almost feels normal. Until you realize, you may never see the sky again. A new generation would grow up underground. Children who have never felt sunlight on their skin. Never watched clouds drift overhead. Never seen the stars with their own eyes. To them, the sky would exist only in old photographs and stories told by their grandparents. A beautiful world that no longer exists. For years, perhaps even decades, humanity might survive. Life would continue. Children would laugh, knowing the underground cities would thrive. But even they would not save us forever. Because another invisible clock would already be ticking. Something essential would slowly disappear. And when it finally did, no underground city, no shelter, and no technology would be enough to protect us. The greatest challenge, when the sky disappears, even beneath the Earth's surface, humanity still depends on something. Something so thin, most of us never think about it. The atmosphere. It protects us from deadly radiation, burns up incoming meteoroids, keeps our planet warm enough for life. For billions of years, it has quietly kept Earth alive. But without the sun, that protection begins to disappear. Day after day, the planet grows colder. The oceans freeze, the surface becomes silent, and then, something almost impossible begins to happen. Air is matter. Just like water, it can change state. As temperatures continue to fall, the nitrogen that makes up most of our atmosphere begins to condense. Eventually, the atmosphere itself starts to freeze. Imagine looking up and watching the sky slowly fall to Earth. Not as snow, not as rain, but as frozen air. Without an atmosphere, there is no wind, no clouds, no blue sky. Nothing shields Earth from space anymore. Small meteoroids strike the surface directly. Cosmic radiation pours in without resistance. Even the greatest underground shelters can no longer protect humanity forever. But there is one piece of good news. None of this would happen overnight. In reality, the sun will not suddenly disappear. About 5 billion years from now, it will slowly expand into a red giant. A process that takes millions of years. If humanity still exists, we may have enough time to leave Earth behind. Perhaps our descendants will one day call another planet home. A world beneath a different sun. A new beginning, far from the place where humanity first began. And somewhere, in another corner of the galaxy, another civilization may be looking up at its own star, asking the very same question.